Hi, this is Kara from East to West Homeschool once again. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm going to be doing my 5th graders' individual choices for her curriculum for this fall. What that means is some of the things I chose and some she chose, but they are items that she will be doing on her own or with me or maybe with one other person. But they are not the things we are going to be doing as a family all together. Those I have labeled are together subjects. So this is not everything she'll be doing this year. And if you want to check out the together subjects, I'll put a link below and probably a tag above, and you can watch that video if you want to see the rest of what she's doing this year. My 11-year-old is full of life, and she's an entrepreneur, and she loves to read, and so I'm excited for the things that she gets to do that she has chosen this year, as well as the things that I have noticed in her, questions she's had, and things I can draw out. You may notice that my 4th and 5th graders' choices are actually very similar. If you watched both videos, we do cater to their interests, and that is the piece that will be different that you will see. And so if you want to see the differences in the video and not just the parallels, make sure you watch to those parts. One final note on my background, this probably is the last day I'm using this as my background. I have made rag rugs. That is one of my personal individual things that I have been doing, and I completed this rug about a week ago, probably maybe 2 weeks ago now, and so I've been using it as my background just because it's fun to use my own art, but I may be switching that up. Just thought I'd share that little tidbit about myself. If you have any questions about any of the curriculum that I'm covering today, or you would like me to expand on things, please let me know. Leave a comment below or email me. So, without further ado, here's my 5th graders curriculum for this fall. Here is a literal overview of the things my 5th grader is going to be doing for curriculum this fall. Okay, let's start with Bible. Bible is something that is not required, obviously. In our state, it is an optional subject, but in our home, it is the most important one. And so my daughter will actually be part of a program called Bible Quizzing in our denomination, where she will be memorizing in the NIV the entire book of Matthew this fall. She was in Bible Quizzing last year and loved it, and so it's a great opportunity for her to be a part of a team, to work on memorization, and to learn the Word of God. And so that's her main Bible portion of our school on her own. Just like my son, we have the Christian Light Education Student Planner, and as you can see on the front, there are subjects, there are also blank ones, and they write down what they are doing, or I write this for them usually, and then they can check things off as they get it done. And then they also have a page where they do their free writing with Brave Writer each week. They also have a place to evaluate how they are doing. And so I just really like this planner. I kind of paged through it at a convention and ended up buying it, and I'm excited. They did start using it this year, which is why I covered that up. But it's one of those things that's undated, and so they can use it at any time, and we'll continue using this throughout this school year. For language arts, we have Rod and Staff Building Christian English series. She is in English 4, but then she will also do English 5. I typically don't start Rod and Staff until the middle of 2nd grade when they're really reading, because it's a very, I would say, advanced curriculum. And so that's why we're always a little bit off on the grade level for that, but that's totally fine with me. And so then there's just a notebook to go with this, and she does her assignments in the notebook. Did you notice from my overview video that it seems like all the curriculum is yellow and green this year? It's kind of funny how that worked out. I didn't plan it that way. So my daughter's in the last level of Handwriting Without Tears. She actually struggled with handwriting early on. That was totally a mom fail of mine. Maybe I'll make a video about that at some point. But anyway, we have found that Handwriting Without Tears has really helped her to become a good writer. And this level says grades 5+. And so she's actually already started this Can Do Cursive, but there's Can Do Print, Can Do Cursive, and I figured it would be a good just reinforced practice for her to continue to do handwriting. I'm not sure what we'll do after this, if we'll start doing copy work or if I'll find a different curriculum, but this is the last level. I also decided to go ahead and get the writing journal that came with the pack, and I figured we could use this for free writing, or we could use this just to add more writing with our writing projects with Brave Writer this year. For spelling, we're going to be doing Spelling Power. This was a suggestion through My Father's World, which we are doing as part of our core curriculum. And this is something that she'll do as an individual or with her brother, who's a grade younger than her. For math, we will be doing Math Grade 5 through Math Mammoth. I love this curriculum. My daughter loves this curriculum so much that I bought the CD last year, and so she did grade 4 last year. She'll be doing grade 5 this year. It is a great curriculum that really explains things well and allows her to be very independent in her math, and I love that. So I bought the CD, and then what I do is I print it out. Obviously, I haven't printed it yet for this fall, but I print it out, and she loves the color of that, and it's very easy to slip into folders for her and slip into her binder. I used Christy Clover's method for organizing her math, and anyway, we are probably in year 5, I think, or maybe 4 of using this, and she just loves this. Getting into the interest-led part of her schooling, I really love Heart of Dakota. We have never done Drawn into the Heart of Reading, but I'm super excited to get into this. What it does, it's a multi-level reading program. You choose any books you want to go with the genres, and so there's a grade 4 or level 4-5 book that goes with it. My daughter has never minded me choosing her books for her, but this year she did have more freedom of choice with this curriculum, so it's kind of exciting. The way it works is it's divided into these 9 genres. Carrie Austin divides them into biography, adventure, historical fiction, fantasy, mystery, folk tales, nonfiction, humor, and realistic fiction. And then there's, kind of like a project, sort of like a book report. They'll be dissecting the books. The last couple of years, we've used Heart of Dakota as our core for history, and then all the subjects, basically. And for the read-alouds, she divided them like this, too. And I have loved how she's, kind of divided the books into not just reading one genre all the time, but reading the different genres. And they cover genre studies, pre-reading activities, literature discussions, story element lessons, higher order thinking skills, godly character traits, vocabulary strategies, and creative projects. And I'm really excited for her to get into this year with books that she has chosen. So I have brought up the sample book idea list, and she has chosen some from here and some not, and I'll mention that when I get into the books. There is another option of buying the level 4-5 book pack from Heart of Dakota. We've opted not to do that so that we could use our own books, but that is an option if you are purchasing new and want to do it easier, so to speak. But for us, it's bringing in part of the delight-led learning. So now I'll show you the books that she's chosen for this year. The first book she chose is The Chronicles of Narnia. This was a suggestion in their sample book idea, but she's already reading the first one this year, or this summer. And so this is book 3, The Horse and His Boy. And she will just work through this series, but for her reading purposes with the guide, she will most likely be in The Horse and His Boy. For fantasy, she will be doing The Indian and the Cupboard. And actually, this is suggested in the sample book idea under adventure, so it could be used for either, but we are doing it for fantasy. She's also chosen The Secret Garden as her, let's see, what genre was that? Historical fiction book. For mystery, she has chosen The Secret of the Golden Cowrie. The Secret Garden and The Secret of the Golden Cowrie also were under the sample book ideas. For humor, she chose The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. This was also under their sample idea book, and she's excited to watch the movie too, but I won't let her watch it until after she reads this book. More Stories from Grandma's Attic is actually a folktale under the folktale category, and this was a suggestion, I believe, in one of Heart of Dakota's guides, not the sample book idea, but actual one of their grade level guides. So this was a suggestion for a read aloud, not for an individual read, but I figured she's old enough to read this now, and I think she'll really enjoy it. We've not read other ones in this series. I've heard it's really good, but this is just one that I found used, and it looked really good. For biography, she has chosen The Story of Phyllis Wheatley poetess of the American Revolution. My daughter did mention that on Liberty's Kids she was mentioned, and so she knows just briefly a little bit of history, but I think it'll be good to get into her biography. For realistic fiction, she has chosen the American Girl series, Samantha, and she's a good reader, so I'm guessing she'll get through all 5 of these books instead of just 3. But in any case, Heart of Dakota has it broken down where you can do 1 book or 2 or 3 during the time period that they give her for each genre. I think she'll probably do all 5, but in any case, she'll be required to read 3. Now getting into her interests, I'm so excited that she is going to read Dog Training for Kids as her nonfiction book this year. No, we do not have a dog, and actually a friend of mine who is an animal trainer recommended this book for her. But my daughter is an entrepreneur, and she has it in her mind that she wants to do some dog walking, and I don't know if that's something that she'll want to do or not, but I told her until she learns more about dogs and how to take care of them, she can't do it as a business because we do not own a dog. So I bought this book for her, and she will be doing this as her nonfiction book, and we'll see if it, sparks more interest, if she learns some things, or if she'll decide it's not for her. Another very interest-led thing for my daughter is she, like I said, is an entrepreneur, and she loves learning how to make money. She has been asking a ton of questions about different professions. Like we were taking some online art classes this spring when COVID hit. Thank you to Kisa Hausman and Made with McHarper. They both had great classes for free for weeks. And my daughter, watching Kisa one day, said, wait, you can actually make money doing art? And that kind of piqued her interest, but she has interest in all kinds of things, and she would love to learn more about different professions. And so I ended up picking up this book. It says A Hand Guide for Teens, Kids, and Young Adults, and it's very open-ended. If you're familiar with the Thinking Tree Fun Schooling books, I will link their website below. But anyway, so it lists like tons and tons of professions, but it doesn't list them by name. It actually has pictures, and she will be researching the different professions and seeing what they do, what they make, what you need to go to school for, that kind of thing. And I'm not going to require her to do a ton in this book. This is going to be all interest-led. And so if she decides, okay, I just want to learn about these 5 or 10 this year and learn more about them, then I'll let her do that. And maybe next year she'll decide to do 10 more. If she decides to do this whole book this year, that's fine. But I'm confident that it might help her decide or narrow down what kind of entrepreneur she wants to be. And so that's kind of the point of doing this book now instead of waiting till she's a teen or a young adult. I would love for her to hone in some of her skills, or maybe what kind of classes or books she wants to read to learn more about those things. You may be wondering what this giant messy ball of yarn is. It's actually the start of her crocheting. She's learning how to crochet. She doesn't really know how to do it yet, but I'm going to let her have the opportunity to learn some more handicrafts this year, which I also mentioned in our Together Subjects video, but this is something individual to her, is learning how to crochet, and so I'm hoping we can find some good YouTube tutorials or something for her to do that. For Spanish, she will be doing Rosetta Stone Spanish, and I'm excited to get into this. It will be really nice because it has the assignments on here. I know this is not the current version. Now they do everything online. I have an older homeschool edition, but we will be trying this year, and if we love it, maybe we'll do the online next year. Who knows? We'll find out. Spanish is not required at this young of an age, but I really feel like with language development, it's important to start languages young, and so that's why we're doing it now. She will also be continuing in this nature study and outdoor science journal, also by the Thinking Tree. This has been a really nice guide for a nature journal the last couple of years, and this is not our main science. We are doing science with My Father's World this year, and this is just kind of an added, like sometimes I'll have them watch documentaries, or we'll go outside, or we'll go on a nature walk, or we'll do things that this guide will help us with, and she'll be able to collect things or draw things, take pictures and put them in here. There's just a ton of ideas. It's a very fun book, I would say, and the kids really enjoy doing this, and so we'll incorporate this sometimes within our homeschool. Another interest-led thing is my daughter is starting the puberty era, and she has a lot of questions about things. We've had talks about puberty a little bit, but I would love to have something a little more in-depth that we can do together, and so this will be something that she and I will be doing together. So what is God's design for my body? From Girl to Woman, Beautiful Girlhood, and the Companion Guide to Beautiful Girlhood. Now these are included in a Heart of Dakota guide. I did not buy the guide because I'm not doing that year of Heart of Dakota, but I decided based on a friend's recommendation to still get these and try them with her, and hopefully it'll give her a greater depth and understanding. It's also character training, as you can see, so it really encompasses quite a few things, and I think it'll be really good for her to know. The last thing to mention is just the States and Capitals guide, the student guide. I forgot to mention this on my 4th graders video. I forgot to mention this, but I think I tagged it on the last video I did, which was Together Subjects. But in any case, she has started this past year, but did not actually memorize all of the states and capitals, and she didn't get very far in this book. So I'm going to have her continue to do this. I'm hoping we'll be done with this after about 6 weeks of school, and so then we'll move on to world history, which is what we're doing with My Father's World. But I do want her to learn the states and capitals. I think it's important, and so we are going to be finishing this up this year. I hope you enjoyed my 5th graders' choices for curriculum. I'm really excited to get into this stuff. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing to my channel. Also, you could click the bell if you want more notifications on videos. I think I have only one child's curriculum video left to do, and then I can start expanding on some things. Thank you so much for watching, friends. Bye.